Okay, guys, welcome back to the channel. I just finished doing the monthly readings for this season that we're in right now. I decided to mostly focus on May and June since we're in the middle of May and uh, we're going to go into June. So let me talk about June so you guys can get a little bit of a head start because sometimes I don't post right away. I do my best to keep my intuition. So we did the monthly readings. I do want to talk about and I have been wanting to talk about okay, so in Western astrology, we have what's called Pluto being in Aquarius. So we have the planet of Pluto in the zodiac sign of Aquarius. So all the planets rotate, and when it rotates during a certain amount of time, it goes into a different zodiac sign. So for the sun, every 30 days, it goes into a different zodiac sign. So that's like the easiest one to know. So if you're born during July, most likely within those 30 days, you're a Cancer sun. And if you're born during, um, I don't know, uh, if you're born during, let's say January, you're most likely going to be a Capricorn. So yeah. So Pluto, which is zodiac signs every 15 to 20 years. Okay. So Pluto was in Capricorn in the last 15 to 20 years, right? So since 2008 until like the last few years recently, like year or two, it was in Capricorn. And now it's in Aquarius, right? Also, around 2018 in Chinese astrology, we were in period 8, right? Now in the last year or two we went into period 9, right? So that was a 15-20 year thing that happened in Chinese astrology and Western astrology that changed around the same time. Okay, so we had Pluto in Capricorn from '08 to like the last to like let's say 2020 3. So we had Capricorn and Pluto, and then we also had period 8 in Chinese astrology. So, what does that mean? So, from '08 to like, let's say 2023, Pluto was in Capricorn. So, people during that time were more focused, generally speaking, around the world, were more focused on like showing their luxury, right? Like, oh, I worked so hard. I worked my way from the top. I did it all by myself, like things like that. And then it's like, oh, they did have a team, some of them, some people, or most people didn't really do things all alone. There was help here and there. Like that was like a big thing in, those years. Or showing off your luxury and like dressing like real like in a tux and like, people in quinces doing like the mariachi thing, like kind of like going all out and being like fancy and like luxurious and like, silver spoons, like, but it's like I didn't grow up with silver spoons, but I have it now, and showing that off on social media, like showing off your wins and your hard work and things like that. So that was then, right? Driving a Rolls Royce and like these expensive clothes and things like that. That was the last 15, 20 years. Now we are in a new 15, 20 year cycle, right? But I would say in Chinese astrology and Western astrology, it was about the same. It was just about like, it felt very Capricornian in Chinese astrology too, like very like slow moving and like focused on the foundations and things like that, right? And I might do a meditation for this too, for Pluto being in Aquarius and period 9. I think that's important. We should do that. But let's just talk about it first. So for the next 15 to 20 years, instead of it being like luxury and working our way to the top. The way a lot of people are going to find success is through community, through friends, not being like, oh, I did it all by myself and da da da. Like now, in the next 15 to 20 years, people are going to be side-eyeing you and being like, what about me? Like you didn't do it without me or this or that, right? So it's important to work together. It's important to, wait, I had another page. It's important to work together and work within your community. So like maybe you could start doing things like if you have eggs and then you have a neighbor who likes to make bread, you can like do trades, like, oh, I'll give you some eggs and then you give me like a loaf of bread and we'll do that bi-weekly or whatever. So here it is. Thank goodness. So, okay. And so during the time when Pluto was in Capricorn, those 15 to 20 years that we just got out of, um, and I like to talk about it because a lot of people, don't believe in astrology. They're still a little skeptical. So I like to be like, okay, well, this is what was happening. Were you experiencing that? Okay, well, let's talk about what's happening now, what I see. And if you feel like it resonates with you, then it resonates with you. And if it doesn't, it doesn't. And these readings are probably not for you. And sometimes it'll resonate with people and you'll need a break and things like that. So that's why I like to explain past stuff. And if you guys already know about it, sorry, but maybe you'll get to hear my perspective and maybe you'll like it. So anyhow, um, so in those 15 years that we were in period 8 and in Chinese astrology in Capricorn, Pluto was in Capricorn during um that time as well. It was okay to like, to do things the way the greats used to do it and things like that. But we're kind of moving away from that because we're going into Pluto and Aquarius likes to be innovative, different, do things for the community and things like that. So sometimes, I feel like there's going to be a lot of change happening. But since we're moving away from the Capricorn energy, I feel like some people may be fighting that still and maybe wanting to live in the old ways of doing things, but I feel like that's going to like die out. And it's going to be emotional, I feel like. So have compassion for those people who are not wanting to like wake up and look at things and they may actually be like really scared. So just have compassion for those people because there's going to be a lot of changes happening in the next 15 to 20 years, whereas we just got out of a 15 to 20-year cycle. That's like 2 decades. Someone went from being 60 years old to 80. That's a big difference. 20 years old to 40, it's a big difference. And things were moving so slow during that time. And people got to like enjoy working their way up to the top during that time. The people who really enjoyed that type of a flow may be scared because it feels like things are coming at them. And, Aquarius, lightning, like they may feel like they may get striked at any point. And it may be scary for them. So just be patient for those people and you do the best you can. Like Michael Jackson said, if you want change to happen, it has to start with you. And I'm listening to Michael Jackson right now. So yeah. Um, so yeah, there's gonna be a lot of transformation, a lot of things that look like it's gonna be like destruction. A lot of growth comes from that. There's gonna be a lot of growth. Things are gonna be clearing up. Some people may be feeling really claustrophobic right now. Actually, they may be feeling like noises are too loud, too close. And there's a reason for that. There's a purpose, which is negative. There's also a reason and a purpose for that, which is positive. Okay. So it's important to see things from all layers and all levels. And I know you guys are curious as to what those layers are. We will get to that in another video. Deal, deal. Okay, okay, okay. I get it. Okay. So we may not be able to see very clearly what these changes are, but what we do know is during this cycle, we're going to be able to see where at least, even if it's not clear right in front of us, it's going to be kind of like a filter, and we'll see that there's still something there. It's not like a brick wall. So you'll see where there's opportunities, but it may not be super clearly, right? And where are things changing already that we have Pluto and Aquarius, but we may not be able to see things clearly? I would say crypto. So we know things are changing when it comes to money, but we may not be able to see it clearly. So you can commit to learning and clearing things up and making more comfortable and sound nicer when and focus on that. I don't know if that makes sense, but on when it comes to like money and how you want to direct your focus and your intention there. So, um, what's another thing that's going to be a good thing to focus on during these next 15 to 20 years? Again, I would say is our community and other people, but we have to focus on ourselves first. So what works best for us? How do we meditate? Well, let me have that experience. Let me go meditate. Let me go do yoga, spend time outside. Okay, well, how do I get the community? How do I get my family members to be outside more, be healthy? How do I put myself in an environment that's healthy if I'm not in an environment that's healthy? Like, um, having a healthy environment is going to be a big thing in these next 15 to 20 years. There's going to be a lot of community in these next 15 to 20 years. Things are looking very positive in these next 15 to 20 years. Um, but a lot of things are going to be clearing up. So a lot of people who relied on that Capricorn, period 8 energy and like hiding may have a hard time. Um, yeah. So you know what? I'm gonna leave it at that. We're gonna be talking about period 9 and Pluto and Aquarius a lot because it feels like important to me. Because I did the notes and I was like, wow, this is like in my like this is stuff that I pick up on a lot. So that's gonna be one that we talk about even more and more. And I do want to do a meditation for that. Um, and get a little bit more detailed and stuff like that. So we're just gonna do this as an introductory first, not even introductory video. We did a good amount, but as a first video. And if you guys want personal birth chart readings, I think the best way to do it is to email me or something, but I'm gonna like this is another thing I'm just trying out. And I see that it's gonna be a lot of work in the beginning, but I think I can do it to where I'll be okay doing this or having this as a project for a little bit and I get to do it for some people at least. So I don't know how if I want to do a website or anything, but I'll at least leave my email and you guys could email me if you're interested in that for a birth chart reading for Chinese astrology. But we can talk about that. But I'll leave something down below, and I'll leave a link to for you guys to see your birth chart in Chinese astrology. So a lot of people have already seen their birth chart for Western astrology, for Vedic astrology. There's birth charts for Chinese astrology too. So you get four animals and elements that those animals are in. So you can follow along like that. And I'll explain those better in other videos. Um, but for now, thank you for watching. I hope you have a great Pluto and Aquarius. And I love you guys. Bye.